to the creator thing, the individuality of the creator and separating them from the companies that they were. That was the whole thing with Kirkman.
Right.
And people were getting all pissed off because Kirkman said creators should create.
Right.
Don't you start off with Marvel or DC, get your legs in the industry, get your work polished, stuff like that. Then you go to Image or you go to another independent, and then you start creating your own stuff and you work for yourself.
Right.
And I wish there would be more of that.
There were many people who were calling Kirkman disloyal. They were saying that, I myself even initially kind of got on him because I thought he was just being full of himself. But the more...
Well, that's what everyone thought. I don't understand how you can think that, though.
Quite frankly, it was out of a point of ignorance because I hadn't read as much of his stuff as I should have. And now that I read it, especially when I read his independent stuff, the stuff he's done outside of Marvel, I do take his side. I do believe I side more with him now than I did in the past, and I'll admit it. I did. It wasn't like I sided with Bendis either, though. I thought Bendis was being kind of a dick too when he was taking the opposite point, to Kirkman. In either case, it goes back to, again, the unique culture in comic books where we just seem to glom onto the genre or particularly the character that the creators are working with, and we don't really seem to give enough credit to the creators themselves. Now, Warren Ellis did a huge thing for Iron Man with the Extremis reboot that he did. I mean, that was huge. He set up a whole bunch of stuff that he's doing now that's Matt Fraction is able to carry through on.
But Matt Fraction was the only one who really is able to use some of that earlier
work. Right.
Because when Ellis got off of that book, they just ruined that book. Like, Iron Man was just...
It lost its focus.
Fucking terrible for years.
And then, Green Lantern... Jeff Johns has done a tremendous thing rebooting that series, that title, now that it's one of DC's top-selling books.
Well, here's the thing. When Jeff Johns leaves that book, eventually, is it still going to sell?
That's a good question.
Do people want to read Green Lantern without Jeff Johns writing it? How long is he going to be on there? I'll tell you this. If Jeff Parker doesn't write Ages of Atlas... I don't buy Ages of Atlas anymore because he pretty much created the tone for that book by doing the original miniseries and now doing the regular series. That's his book.
Right.
I don't want to see anyone else but Jeff Parker write Ages of Atlas.
Right.
Because I don't think it would work.
You make a point for that too. You see a lot of other books that have been created just like that. Now, of course, Ages of Atlas and Green Lantern don't fall under those. Under this category, but you're never going to see anybody else write Y the Last Man, a Y the Last Man type book.
Well,
I know it's a Vertigo book, and I know it's a creator-owned thing, but again, there are certain titles and certain stories that are just so synonymous with the person who created them, people will never accept somebody else doing it.
Right, and that's one of the, to draw manga back into the discussion, that's one of the things in the manga industry. Is what kind of Vertigo is to American industry is that the book from beginning to ending is done by a set of creators and that's it, and it's a finite story.
Right.
And with a few exceptions to manga, most manga is a finite story from beginning to end, same writer, same artist, all the way through, and then that's it. And then you move on to something new.
Right. And that's what Garth Ennis has done with Hitman. He did that with Preacher. He's doing that with The Boys right now. There are other titles right now that are out there.
They were talking about in the letters column that Chew is a finite story.
Right. It won't go forever.
Right.
Now there is a definite.
And only they will work on those books.
Right. So what is it
or
again?
On that book, sorry.
But I just find that fascinating. Fanboys flock to characters and not creators. And on this, to close this on this note, a conversation that came up on our boards that Jose and I tend to use the term fanboy in a derogatory fashion.
We do.
I don't mean it so much as a derogatory although I can see why people think of it that way. I consider myself a fanboy. I think I'm a fanboy.
And I said on the comment boards that I am above that.
You're above that. And I've already admitted to doing. I do many of the same things that I criticize other fanboys of doing. So I.
Well, not all of us can be me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's
not
why
all
you do
of us.
what you do.
Not all of us want to be you. I mean,
I don't know why.
It looks pretty difficult to be you. It does.
It fucking is.
It is.
It's a chore.
It's a lot of work, man. So anyway, Black Phoenix, understand. You ain't never gonna get this guy to smile. Ain't gonna happen. Anyway. So what do we want to introduce into the lexicon, if not the term fanboy, something here on the Comic Culture Warrior channel that we could use for those that are above the fanboy mentality? And of course, comics enthusiast was that's too long.
Cat.
Say comics enthusiast.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
It's okay. It's kind of long though. It's got to be, it's got to roll off the tongue. In my case. So I had idea. What was it? Well, I had referred to you once as comic connoisseur, but that's also just as.
I like that.
Connoisseurs. Yeah. Comic connoisseur.
Anything that sounds pretentious, I'm all for.
The idea. I'm still mulling over the idea, but again, fanboys. When I use the term fanboys, it's just me. I'm talking about the fanboy, the male comics reading community, and that's what I really. When I'm thinking fanboys, I'm thinking about male comic readers.
But then Fanboy D though said that we need to appropriate.
We would screw his shtick up if we decided to make it a negative thing.
Yeah, so comic enthusiasts should appropriate the word fanboy, and we should take it from the loser fanboys.
Take it back, right? Yeah, we're taking it back. We're taking fanboy back.
Yeah,
but fanboy can easily change his handle to comic enthusiast D. I mean,
but it's not as cool as Fanboy D though.
CED. Just CE comic enthusiast. Fanboy D still isn't on my good side after that whole Wonder Woman debate, so he's not going to get any help from me. I'm telling you. I do not mean fanboy in a bad way when I use it. That's all I want to say about that. But it would be nice to come up with a new term, And fangirls, I can't find a single derogatory thing to think of. You'll never see me ripping fangirls. I think fangirls are wonderful. Wonderful. I love fangirls. They just don't love me. They don't. Variant girl, I'm looking for some, little pumping up.
Can we end this fucking segment?
I think we can.
Thank you.
We look forward to your comments, your feedback, your suggestions, your messages, your emails. Check out the Comic Culture Warrior blog as well, where Mr. Melendez is there sharing his thoughts and opinions on books that we do not get a chance to review here. It's some really good and funny stuff there. Trust me.
Not that Elliot would know.
You don't read any of my stuff. I'm not reading yours.
Have you read your stuff? It's pretty terrible.
Actually, it's like when you take a dump. You just want to flush and run. That's kind of it. So. Ash Saves Obama comes out August 19th. Ask for it at your local comic shop, and then run. Until next time, folks, we look forward to seeing you out on the interwebs. Thanks for joining us.